Hi, this is Majinoni, and I have a special haunted house review for you. My friend and I went to Vegas, and we went to a place called Trilogy of Terror, Gates of Hell. And Trilogy of Terror is located at 2321 North Rainbow Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is simply nothing like I've ever been to, ever. Now, there's three main attractions. You get Circus of Horrors, Castle Vampire, and the Gates of Hell. And I'm sure you're going, geez, Majinoni, what does it how is that different than the place down the street from me? We get three also. Well, what's really special about this is Gates of Hell is an R-rated haunted house. You have to be 18 years old or older to enter that section of it. And the one thing I can tell you right off the bat that makes this unique is they touch you, and they really do. I mean, they can and do. Now, when we got there, it's a very festive type location in that you have the three haunted houses, and in the center, you have a wrestling ring. So they have like these, like the fake wrestling type stuff going on there. There's some interaction with the audience, and I thought that was really cool. Give you something to do while you're waiting in line. Now, one thing I would probably recommend doing is this. Most haunted houses, they have a VIP pass. You pay an extra, $10, $15 or whatever, and you just go to the front of the line. Well, in this case, with the Trilogy of Terror, if you do buy the Fast Pass, you get a shirt. And I would almost recommend getting the Fast Pass in this case because the lines into the haunted house are long. Or, not, sorry, not long, but they're slow. And this is a good thing, and I'm going to explain that in a second. Because what happens is when you have a regular haunted house, it's basically just to put the people in as fast as possible, space them out when you can, and just keep them moving. But what happens with the Trilogy of Terror is when we went through there was only one case where we actually met the people in front of us. And we actually had this feeling of we were alone throughout this entire journey. So I think what they do is they really space the people out, so there's no chance of catching up. I mean, we've gone to the 13th floor, we've gone to Chambers, we've gone to other haunted houses, and we catch up to people in a lot of cases. And I think that having that space works amazingly well in this case. Now, when we got there, we were already kind of nervous because of what this place was, and I think we were mostly nervous about the R-rated, like what are they going to do to us in that. We went to Castle Vampire first, and normally vampire ones don't scare. At least don't scare me. But this was amazing. Everything from, when you go in there and how they interact with you, what you have to do, it is just fantastic. They don't touch you, but they do kind of make you do things. It's like when you go through a haunted house, normally it's just follow the line, follow the path. In this case, they had like walls closing, ceilings dropping in on us. They had optical illusions. They had a rope that you had to, swing over this pit type thing, and it was just fantastic. It was just amazing. At the end, they kind of they have like a person at the end who's like my master's at the other end. They interact with you, and she just did a fantastic job. Same thing with the circus one. The basic premise was the same in terms of how the haunted house is set up, but the beginning was really well done, and I loved what they did inside the house. They really did some creative things inside. Clowns sometimes scare me, sometimes don't, and the Circus of Horrors didn't scare as much as the other two, but I think they did a lot of really cool things inside here that made it great. The Gates of Hell, though. Oh, the beginning was the best beginning I've ever seen in a haunted house, ever. It freaked your mind just enough to put you right in the mood and the mindset to go in there. I'm not even going to tell you what happens, but it really jacks with your head. Now, once you get in there, you, like I said, they're touching you. They're doing all sorts of crazy things to you. There is this was, like I said, the one of the best haunted houses I've been to. It's not long, but it you wouldn't, like, when we got out of there, we actually were kind of tense. Normally when we go through these haunted houses, we're just like, no big deal, let's just drive home. But this one, we were on a little bit on edge, because it's like what you experience inside there. They really play with your mind. Now, even the the entertainment even begins at the beginning, because in most cases you have a guy in a shirt, like, for an example, 13th floor haunted house T-shirt, and he takes your card and you go in there, and these guys know exactly how to do it. You walk in there, to your line. Each one has a very unique ticket taker. You have like a deformed hunchback, like a person who is taking your tickets for the castle. You have a demonic clown for the circus, and you have the perverted, the not really perverted, but the demonic monk taking your ticket on the other one, and they interact with you. I mean, it was so cool, because, like, when you look at the clown acted like, he was the abused clown. He was the abused, mutated kid who's the clown who got abused, and now he's got this demonic face and he's evil. And then you have the evil ringmaster who's abusing him, and he had that act down perfect. Each one of these three had their act down amazingly well, and it puts you right into your mindset right from the beginning. Once they take your ticket, you go up some stairs, and they have the doorkeeper. And each one of the doorkeepers does a fantastic job preparing you to go inside that room. They lay out the rules, but they don't do it like the rules, like, okay, you've been in this haunted houses before, so just as a reminder, don't touch, don't do this, don't do that. But they talk in character. Like the castle one, the woman was, like, obviously a vampire, and she was in character, and I was like, this is amazing. It really puts you into the right mindset when you go in there, and, like I said, it was just, everything they did was great. Now, the only thing I would say that they need to do to improve this is improve some of the walls, fix up a little of the put a little bit more money into the actual construction of some of their sets. Now, keep in mind, they do a fantastic job through some of this, or a good chunk of it, but I would like to see maybe some improvements along the way as you're going from section to section. And my other problem is, like, the ending is very similar to, with each one of these, and I think if you wanted to keep the ending similar, that's fine. But what I would do is change it up a little bit. Like, maybe change how the path is when you go to go out. Add a little something extra to each one of these, so this way it really makes things distinct. Now, circus was a little bit different, because circus was more interactive. The other two were very, very similar to how they played out. But despite that, it was fantastic, that ending. Um, I I do see people run out occasionally at other haunted houses, but in 90% of the time when they bolt out, you hear the chainsaw and the guy chases them. Chainsaw free, and people ran. People were bolting through that door, and they were terrified. And what I think was also really good that they did psychologically, to people, is you have to, like I say, you have to climb up, and then there's a ramp going down. So even if you weren't running, you're walking fast, because it's a steep ramp going down. So you have that, regardless, you have that illusion, and if they are running, they're going down fast. And I'm telling you, they were running extremely fast out for Gates of Hell, and definitely the Castle Vampire. They were doing it a little bit with the circus, but it wasn't as, I didn't notice it as much as the other two. Fantastic ending. They did they just, when you see it, I'm telling you, you're gonna go like, holy crap. And there's a part of you where you go fight or flight. You kind of just want to just go. It was great. They did, like I said, they did a fantastic job. If any haunted house owners in Arizona are watching this, you need to go here and learn a thing or two, because these guys are doing so many things right. And if you just do some of these things, you will understand how to make Arizona a tremendous place for haunted houses, because we have tons. And this is, I know there's probably better, but this is a good starting point to learn how to improve. Uh, Again, fantastic haunted house. Highly recommend it. Pandacubed, highly recommended. 5 out of 5 stars. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. I know this kind of went a bit long. Like the Facebook link down here, because there's some pictures of the 3 buildings from the outside, since obviously they don't allow cameras on the inside. And we'll have more reviews. I still have a couple haunted houses that we're going to go to here in Arizona, so watch for those. And more stuff later. And I have the Batman show to review too. So until next time.